And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
What do you do when you have a large group of people and you want to play a board game? And there's really not a whole lot of options other than party games, and there's a few card games. Well, here's a card game option, and this says it can go from 3 to 10 players, which is right. Probably works best with 5 and 6. It's a game from Korea. Asrus, or Asrus is the name of the game, and it looks like a game about astrology, but it's more about astronomy than anything else. And it's a simple deck of cards comes with the game, but there's several tokens with it which add a lot to the weight of the box, but these are basically used just to keep score. Well, how does the game work? Let me show you. Each player starts with a number of coins that are different denominations, basically 1, 5, and 10, and you keep whatever the amount that you get basically is determined by the number of players in the game. Then players are going to be dealt a certain number of cards that come from this deck. Now let's take a look at these cards. Each card shows a planet, but really the planet doesn't matter. There's only one thing that really matters on this card, and that is the number in the top. For example, that goes from the sun at 1 and the moon at 15. These are all different distance numbers. You can see here that Libra is number 9, and the number of dots in the card shows the frequency that that card is in a deck. So you can see that the cards in the middle of the deck, there's more of a frequency, while when we get to the end, Aries only has 2 dots on it because there's only 2 of those cards in the deck. Alright, so these cards are dealt out to each player, and then each round of the game, players, one card is turned over. So let's say, for example, here Aries is turned over, and players are going to be trying to play a card that's close to Aries, but not the closest. So let's say these are the cards played by our players here. So let's turn the cards over. Alright, this player played a 3, this person played a 2, a 7, a 6, and a 6. Okay, no one will actually play a 2, so let's turn over another card. Here's a 3. The person who gets points is the person who played the card that's closest to the number played. So for example, here, a 2 card is played. The closest possible number is either a 3 or a 1. Well look, this person played a 3, so they're the closest. However, since another person played the 3, they cancel out. So we go to the next lowest number, which is 6, and there's 2 of those, so they cancel out. The next lowest number is a 7, so the 7 player gets the points. The distance between 2 and 7 is 5, so everybody has to give this player who played this card 5 of their points. And this will continue to go until either one player has run out of points or until 3 rounds of everyone playing these cards. And so there's some interesting aspects here where you're trying to outthink everybody else. You know, obviously if you play a close number to the card, and the card that won is the next closest number. So let's say 7's here. Well, obviously a 9 gives me a good chance of winning, but someone else might think the same thing. While if I play the 15, hoping to get a whole pile of points, the chance of someone else playing a lower number than me is pretty high. Very basic stuff, but it's fun and interesting. But the game also comes with special cards. At the beginning of each round, each player is dealt one of these special cards, and these cards do different things. For example, the majority. If you play the majority card, and you can, on your turn, you're allowed to play one special card with the card that you play. If you play the majority card and you play a card that is in the majority, so say for here example, we see 5 cards, there's more 9s than any other card, and this person played the majority with the 9, then this person wins points from everybody else. There's also cards that give you double points if you win this round. Other cards, nobody wins this round. The winner has to put all the points on top of the card, and we play another round. And so that adds a little bit of variety to the game. The game basically is this deck of cards and these stones. No one is going to accuse this game of being this great deep strategy game. In fact, it's very chaotic in a sense, because you're throwing down cards and you're hoping that no one else throws down the same card as you. This is a mechanic that's often used in other games, but in this sort of game, for me it works, because basically you're just trying to play a card, and there's a card, sometimes there's one that makes it the farthest number away. to get the points. That's a special card. And so when I see someone playing a special card, I then recalibrate. Do they have that card that's the farthest away? If they do, maybe I should play a card that's really far away just to get the points myself. You know, it's silly, quick fun. The game doesn't take long. 3 rounds probably last 20 minutes. And everyone's passing stones around. And you know what? You could have a game where you come in and just every time you lose, every time you pay out. But with that luck involved, I still found it fun. It's interesting on how you take your cards and when and where you play them. A lot of fun, simple game, and it plays up to 10 players, which is a nice bonus.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.